This is a drawing of the surface anatomy of the eye and its accessory structures. The accessory structures of the eye includes the extrinsic eye muscles, eyelids, conjunctiva, and the lacrimal apparatus. We will be talking about the conjunctiva and the lacrimal apparatus later in the video. We will now be talking about the surface anatomy of the eye and the functions of all the parts. The eyelids anteriorly protect the eye, and the eyelashes protect from the border of each eyelid. The palpebral fissure is a space between the eyelids and an open eye. The lateral commissure is the corner of the eye where the upper and lower eyelids meet. The iris is responsible for regulating the amount of light that gets into the eye, and the pupil allows light to enter the eye so it can be focused on the retina to begin the process of sight. The eyebrow protects the eyes from sweat, rain, and moisture so the vision can stay clear. They are also essential for nonverbal communication. The lacrimal carbuncle is the small, pink, globular part of the inner corner of the eye. The medial commissure is at either corner of the eye where the upper and lower eyelids meet. And the sclera is the opaque, fibrous, tough, protective outer layer of the eye.
So this is a drawing of the sagittal section of the accessory structure associated with the anterior part of the eye. The lacrimal gland is located above the lateral end of each eye and releases tears. Fluid secretes out from the lacrimal gland and reaches the excretory duct. This fluid empties out into the superior conjunctival fornix. The conjunctiva lines the eyelids and covers part of the outer surface of the eyeball. It also secretes mucus. The tarsal glands produce an oily secretion that lubricates the eye. And lastly, the eyelid anteriorly protects the eye, and the eyelashes protect the border of each eyelid.
We're now going to be talking about the internal anatomy of the eye. The cornea is on the same layer with the sclera. It functions like a window that controls and focuses entry of light. The sclera is the outer layer that provides protection and form for the eye. The iris surrounds your pupil and makes the color of your eye and is responsible for changing the size of the pupil. The pupil is the black part of the eye which captures the image you are seeing. Behind the pupil are the lens, which change shape. The primary reflective structures include the lens and the cornea. They are responsible for bending the incoming light to focus on the retina at the back of the eye. The ciliary body is a smooth muscle structure that produces fluid in the eye called aqueous humor. The function of the choroid is to provide nourishment to the outer layers of the retina through blood vessels. The inner layer of the eye is the retina, which contain photoreceptors. The retina captures images through the photoreceptors, and these images are sent along the nerve fibers and travel through the optic disc and form the optic nerve. Other structures that pass the optic disc are the retina arteries and the veins. The retina has a section called the fovea. The fovea is a small central pit composed of closely packed cone cells, which is a type of photoreceptor. The fluid inside the eye is called the vitreous humor.
So this is the sensory layer of the eye, and it's composed of the retina, which extends only to the ciliary body. The outer pigmented layer of the retina is composed of pigmented cells that absorb light and prevent light from scattering inside of the eye. The neural layer of the retina contains millions of receptor cells, the rods and cones, which are photoreceptors since they respond to light. Electrical signals pass from the photoreceptors via a two-neuron chain, bipolar cells, and then the ganglion cells, before leaving the retina via the optic nerve as nerve impulses that are transmitted to the optic cortex. This results in vision. The part of the brain that is involved in this interpretation is the occipital lobe and the optic nerve, which is responsible for vision.
As we age, our lens begins to harden and turn opaque rather than clear and jelly-like. Cataracts results from this process. The vision becomes hazy and distorted and eventually causes blindness in the affected eye. Risk factors for forming cataracts include diabetes mellitus, frequent exposure to intense sunlight, and heavy smoking. Current treatment of cataracts is either surgical removal of the lens and replacement with a lens implant, or special cataract glasses.